Good morning, all my friends. I missed you yesterday, but I'm feeling better, so I'm back for our Friday video, okay? So, today we are going to read a story. It's the end of our week 1 for plants and gardening, so I hope that you've planted something, anything at your house. And I have a couple activities for you. We also have show and tell, so you can post your show and tell on the show and tell picture post that I will put up after this video. Okay. Our story is called Stop That Rabbit. All right. Stop that rabbit. Mrs. Baker had a garden. She had a beautiful rose garden. The roses had long stems and big leaves. Jane lived next door. Jane loved roses. Jane loved to smell the roses. She loved to touch the roses. But Jane never picked the roses. Mrs. Baker watered the roses. One day, Mrs. Baker was very mad. Someone had picked the roses. The roses were bent and broken. Who picked the roses? Said Mrs. Baker. Jane, did you pick the roses? No, said Jane. I never pick the roses. The roses are bent and broken, said Mrs. Baker. Who do you think picked the roses? Who was it? Mrs. Baker sat and waited, and Jane sat and waited. Stop, said Jane. Stop that rabbit. The rabbit is in the rose garden. The rabbit is hungry, said Mrs. Baker. The rabbit loves the long stems and big leaves. That is why he picked the roses, said Mrs. Baker. So Mrs. Baker and Jane fed the rabbit every day. They fed the rabbit. What did they feed the rabbit? What do you see? And the rabbit never picked the roses again. But that was a really good story. So they helped the rabbit so that he didn't have to eat their flowers, right? So when you see flowers, do you like to pick them or do you like to just look at them? Because sometimes it's okay to pick them if they're your flowers. But if they're someone else's flowers, you should leave them alone and just appreciate that they're really pretty outside, okay? Now, our next activity is a plant stencil. Now, I know that you probably don't have a lot of stencils at home like we do at the preschool. So, here's my idea for a plant stencil. You can get a real flower or a fake flower. You can put a piece of paper in front of it, and then you can just trace around. You can just trace around the flower that you have. See, it's pretty hard when I do it like this, but if you put it on a table, it'll be a lot easier to trace the flower. But that's how you can make a flower stencil at home. All right, so there's your first activity. Our next one, we were supposed to write a gardening poem, but we can't do that because we're not together, and that's very sad. So my solution is I'm going to post a Mad Libs where you fill in words to finish a story. And you guys are going to finish your stories, and I want you to read them back to us so that way we can hear your stories and you can hear mine, okay? So I will post a Mad Lib activity right after this video. That way you don't even have to find it. You just fill in the words and tell your story, okay? Our next one is a garden puzzle. So I was supposed to make puzzles for you with pictures of flowers and pictures of seeds and things like that, but again, we're not together. So if you make your own garden puzzle by drawing a picture, taking a picture, and cutting it up, and you can either do it yourself or you can send it to Miss Chelsea, and Miss Chelsea will do your puzzle and then take a picture of it, okay? So if you want to send a puzzle to Miss Chelsea, just let me know and I'll give you my address. Now, we're going to play Ring Around the Rosie, and that's something that you can definitely do with mom and dad at home. So play Ring Around the Rosie, super fun, super easy, and it'll make you giggle. And finally, we have our question of the week, which is, what is your favorite plant? So, do you have a favorite plant? Now, we talked about favorite flowers last week, I believe, but I want to know your favorite plant. It doesn't have to be a flower. It could be a tree. It could be a vegetable. It could be a fruit. It could be anything that grows. What is your favorite? Let me know in the comments so I can know that you're watching my videos and I know that you're enjoying the activities. And that's all I have for you today. Don't forget to do the Mad Lib stories and send us either a picture or a video of your child reading it. And have fun with our activities. I love you. Bye.